Bishop's Court circuit, whose last major meeting was the Ulster Grand Prix back in 1972. On the start and finish straight, speeds are touching 150 miles per hour. At Islandmore, they're down into third gear, and then it's 40 miles per hour and first gear for the hairpin. It's up to fourth gear through Deegans and Fairways, before slipping down into first for Ringawadi, and they're back into first again at Dunsport before hitting the straight down to the finish. Overall, it's a fast-flowing circuit. So, plenty of action coming up, and we start with the first senior race of the day. The big bikes and the big names. It should be good. Your race commentator, Barry Nutley.
Jim Moody, number 2, still in second place, closing again. He's narrowed the gap. Phil Borley, number 30, still in third place with 2 laps remaining. So, if Jim Moody has any cards up his sleeve at all, it looked as though Phil Borley ran extremely wide, but no, he's still there. He went in very, very hot indeed. The Norton, in fact, does not have much engine braking. The rotary engine design means that the bike runs on at corners. You need a far superior braking system to that needed on maybe some of the conventional piston engine bikes. Ian Simpson on the crest of a wave, rounding off his career, with one exception, Knockhill, as I said, tomorrow, and then the big meeting at Brands Hatch in Kent the following week. Is then going to hang up his boots for the winter recess. His future, I have to say, for 1995 as yet undecided, but what a tremendous year Ian Simpson has had. Tail ender now ahead of Simpson, a back marker as the last lap flag goes out. Over the line they go. A 1, 2, 3, Norton, Yamaha, Norton, and a long, long way adrift in fourth place. Matt Llewellyn. Phil McCallan is closing as well in 6th. So Llewellyn, Rutter, and McCallan. 4th, 5th, and 6th. There's an equally good scrap going on for the lower placings. But now with about a mile remaining, race leader Ian Simpson looking invincible. Jim Moody clearly has other ideas, might be even saving himself for the International Sunflower event. We shall see. Borley, there's the tail ender, number 26 going through, but this the race leader, number 25. The beautifully turned out, very clean, immaculately prepared Norton machinery in the familiar livery that we've seen them in all season. And the start-finish line, the checkered flag in sight for Ian Simpson. He goes. Jim Moody, Phil Borley, a hand in the air for Simpson. That's jubilation, a well-ridden race.
So first honours of the day to Ian Simpson on the Norton with an average speed of 93.75 miles per hour. Moody splitting the Nortons in second place. We move on now to the smaller bikes, the 125s, and with most of the British Super Cup riders here, it's a very good field, including a host of local riders who could all go very well indeed. Here's Barry again.
Falls has gone round in 88.02, so 1 minute 14. He is still outside the record. Look at Appleyard fighting back. Robin Appleyard said, thank you very much. You've led for a lap. That's all I'm going to allow you to do. And now what was a 4-man battle is rapidly becoming a 2-man tussle. Nip and tuck. Jim Falls sneaks through again into the lead. Sensational riding by the Irishman, and Appleyard will take his hat off to him, I've no doubt. Mark Norman still in third, riding number 17. And Philip Owens, number 16, is in 5th. And there is a battle now for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And there it is. A real scrap going on. Jim Falls still out in front. Appleyard, I think, is wearing down Jim Falls now. It looks as though Robin Appleyard... Oh, under real pressure. Pole position man, Philip Owens, number 16, is now coming up to play in 3rd. Mark Norman is down to 5th. So Owens is now on a charge. Philip Owens, the Irish 125cc road race champion, number 16, and the new style British Championship champion, as opposed to the Super Cup, is now in 3rd place. Owens, 28 years of age, a sheet metal worker from Dungannon, is in third place and is coming up now to challenge the might of Robin Appleyard, number 1, and the sensational riding ability of Jim Falls, number 15. There you have it, confirmation of the top 3. You could get all of them in the back of a Transit. They really are so close. Appleyard is riding out of his leathers in second place, and Phelim Owens in third is just sitting there, and I believe he could easily sneak the win. Look at Appleyard going for it. He feels his pit board will have been telling him that Owens is closing, and look at Falls. It's one nip and tuck, one and the other, and Owens is right there in the slipstream. A new lap record for Phelim Owens, 89.25, so that clearly underlines the fact that Owens is on a charge. Number 16 then, Owens from Dungannon, 28 years of age, holder of the new British road race title, current Irish champion, is demonstrating to us here at Bishop's Court exactly why he is the new Irish champion. Coming onto the straight now, number 16 in third place, going for second, and takes it. Phelim Owens goes past Appleyard, came out of the corner, that very tight corner of Dunsfort. Now let's follow them round. The last lap flag is out. Has Owens done enough to take the win? We shall see. 1.8 miles remaining. Terrific stuff. The left-hander at Larchwood. Down to the hairpin now, down to bottom gear. Down to bottom gear. The last lap flag is being shown here at the start-finish. And Robin Appleyard is in third. Owens now is making a bid for the lead. He was the quickest man in practice. And Jim Falls has had a terrific ride, number 15. Falls still holding off Owens. But Phelim Owens is really with him, and Appleyard is there. Mark Norman, number 17, down in 5th. And that's where he qualified. Through the chicane. The last of the chicane up towards the right-hander at Ringawadi. Onto the start-finish. It's Jim Falls, and is Phelim Owens going to take it at the line? Owens, no! Jim Falls holds on to the win. Robin Appleyard third. Confirmed. I saw it for myself. What a race between these two Irishmen.
So it's an Irish one too. Jim Falls pipping Phelim Owens by just 0.15 of a second. Englishman Robin Appleyard in third place. Well, the man making the presentation but missing today because he's still recovering from injuries picked up in the Isle of Man this year is Robert Dunlop. And Robert, first of all, what a race.
Yeah, brilliant. It's just a pity I wasn't out there, you know. I was cringing really, Jackie, but very good race, and young Falls rode extremely well. Phelim Owens got a bad start and came up through the pack, and it's really exciting to watch.
But it's on a day like this, you must miss it, surely.
Oh, I do, surely, yeah.
What about the injuries? How are you keeping?
Well, obviously, you know, they're healing up, but it's a very slow process, and really it's just, they say time's a great healer, and I've just got to be patient, really, that's all.
The injuries were so bad. I mean, there's all sorts of speculation. People are saying, oh, Robert Dunlop will never be back, he'll never ride again. What about that?
Well, you know, obviously my injuries were quite severe, and they're quite handicapping, but no, I've got good willpower, Jackie, and I'll be back again to race.
So when we go to the main event of the meeting, the Sunflower International Trophy Race, over 15 laps. And there'll be a new name in the trophy this year because Brian Morrison, who's won it for the past 3 years, he isn't here to defend his title. Here's Barry Duffley again.
15 laps then, the full distance, 27 miles, and a flying start for Michael Rutter, 31. Young Mike Rutter coming through, and look at Rutter, a huge front-end wobble, took him wide. Rutter bit off almost more than he could chew, but he's still in second. That will have unsettled Mike Rutter just a modicum, I guess. He left the door wide open for Jim Moody, and that's the best possible present he could have given Jim Moody on lap 1 of the Sunflower International in the sunshine here at Bishop's Court. What an incredible spectacle the crowd has ahead of them. Phil Borley, who wasn't best quick off the line, is into second, number 30. Ian Simpson, notoriously sluggish on the early laps, with a bit of work to do, number 25 in 4th place. But what a sensational start for Mike Rutter, number 31, who charged into the first turn at Brock's Bend, the left-hander, and almost unsettled himself. He's now in third. Race leader, though, Jim Moody, 31 years of age, from Glasgow. Jim Moody on the Loctite Yamaha leads. End of one lap then, the start-finish straight. They're on it now on Lismore Straight. Now look at the speed of the Norton, Phil Borley. Approaching now the left-hander of Broxbend, and Borley goes into the lead. I spoke to Phil Borley after the senior race earlier this afternoon, and I said, are you confident? He said, nope. He was in by no means a confident mood. Jim Moody is absolutely riding his socks off, and Phil Borley said Moody looked as though he was on the limit earlier today, but I think he's got something in reserve, and I'm inclined to support Phil Borley's view. Moody number 2 then, race leader. Number 30 in second place, Phil Borley. Teammate Ian Simpson, number 25, now up to third. Rutter down to 4th. Matt Llewellyn, there's Phil McCallan. Johnny Ray going through. Ian Duffus, number 7. And back with the race leader. Oh, and flicking it through on the Yamaha. Jim Moody, man on a mission, there's no doubt about it. He's seen the tail end of these Nortons for the best part of the 1994 season and desperately would like to reverse the trend. I think the job that the race leader has to do is stretch away if he possibly can, and this is where the Nortons come into their own. Watch the third place man, number 25. You might just catch him in your picture. Ian Simpson is on the tail end of Phil Borley. Won't want to go ahead too early. Simpson in third, Rutterston in 4th. Oh dear me. We've got to settle down, both in the race and indeed in the commentary point, because this is going to be something special, I promise you. Borley, having tasted the lead, will not want to settle for second place. He's alongside, he's squeezed the Norton ahead. Great ride by Phil Borley, wanting to return the tables, I think, on his teammate. Just watch the way the suspension is working over the ripples of this Bishop's Court track. They're on full slick tyres. They're developing something like 150, maybe 160 brake horsepower. The rotary engine Norton, you could be seeing it for the last time on BBC television, because the Nortons are destined for the archive. They've been racing now for 4 years in this current format, and there is no money out of Norton to keep the team going in 1995. What a pity. 3 laps gone then. 15 the full race distance. Borley throwing it in with his left knee on this very abrasive tarmac. Team manager Colin Seeley said earlier that this circuit here at Bishop's Court has all the potential for an international race meeting. They would desperately like to hold a round of the British Super Cup Championship here, possibly in 1996. That depends on a number of factors, not least of all the organisers raising the sufficient cash to resurface the entire track. It is a little bit rough. There's McCallan, number 11. There's Johnny Ray, number 26. Ian Duffus, number 7, in hot pursuit. Race leader, Phil Borley from Southend. Borley, the man who made his name on the 600cc Supersports class, riding in the European Championship for a number of years, always a front runner in the British Championship in the 600cc Supersports class. Once he put his leg across this Norton, took to it like a duck to water. Simpson, I think, making a bid for second. Is he going to make it? This is the race leader. Who is in second? It's still Moody. Still the vivid red Yamaha of Jim Moody. Simpson, though, right on his back wheel. The pictures tell a remarkable story, don't they? It really is close action in fantastic conditions. Moody hanging off the side of the Yamaha, squeezing through. Now, what was that? A little hand signal from Phil Borley, waving everybody through. He clearly has a mechanical problem. A sad day for number 30, Phil Borley, leading the race so very, very impressively. And he has been forced to wave the other two through because he clearly has a mechanical problem. Is Borley going to be able to keep Matt Llewellyn now at bay? Maybe his tyres have gone off. Maybe the rotary engine Norton is overheating. Whatever it is he going to come into the pits this time round? They are on the start-finish straight. We're looking for Borley. Borley is still charging on. He has not gone into the pits, as into the lead sweeps Ian Simpson. number 25. Is it going to be a double or maybe even a triple success for Ian Simpson, the 25-year-old Scot? In fact, both of these men are Scotsmen. There's the new third-place man. Borley is now coasting. Number 30, Phil Borley, is now coasting. So Matt Llewellyn, number 6, on the Meakin Ducati, the 926cc Ducati, is now in third place. Simpson said quite openly that riding the race from the front is not the easiest thing in the world. It demands an immense amount of concentration. Moody will be knowing that he's thinking that, and will be stalking him, hoping for him to lose some of that concentration and make the mistake that Jim Moody will need. But Ian Simpson, very mature, has grown up immensely. I don't mean emotionally, but in terms of his riding ability in this 1994 season. And whereas he was always throwing it away, has now really acquired all the talents of a very professional motorcycle racer indeed. We're looking for Simpson. There's Moody. Jim Moody, no sign of Ian Simpson. There's Simpson! Simpson has either retired, broken down, or dropped it. It's bad, bad news, but good news for Jim Moody on his way to the big prize. Now, this is what happened. You could see Ian Simpson grabbing a big handful. The bike is out of power. He's twisting the throttle. There is nothing left. The bike is packed up, purely mechanical. And that is a big, big problem and a rare sight. We don't often see the Nortons expire, and it's on the penultimate lap, because this time round, Jim Moody has got the last lap flag and is now cruising home. Matt Llewellyn, number 6 on the Ducati, is still in third, and Michael Rutter, number 31, is fighting off a determined challenge. Phil McCallan, number 11, is really having a go for third place. But in the lead, Jim Moody cruising now to the win. McCallan, though, is looking hard for third. Look at Moody, the pressure's off. He's looked over the shoulder. He knows that he can cruise to the win. What a lovely feeling this must be. Jim Moody then, on the Yamaha, through the chicane for the last time, will go up towards Ringawaddy and Dunsfort, the right-hander. Ringawaddy, he's at it now. Dunsfort, there's a little left-handed sweep. Now Dunsfort, the right-hander. And Moody is now on his way onto the start-finish straight. The checkered flag ahead of him. And the 15-lap International Sunflower Trophy goes to Jim Moody, number 2 on the Yamaha. And a long, long way back. Both the Nortons have expired. Unbelievable.
Disappointing end to the race.
Yeah, it really was, because Phil went out quite early on with mechanical problems, and Ian obviously went out with mechanical problems, and it was really unfortunate, because I was feeling pretty good, and I was going to attempt to pass Ian on that lap anyway, you know, so it's unfortunate it had to end that way, but I'll take the win anyway.
Oh yeah, but had Ian Simpson stayed there, had you enough to take him?
Well, I was definitely going to try, you know, like, that's the closest I've been to the Nortons for quite a while, and obviously I couldn't pass him in speed, but there was a few places in the circuit that I was going to have a go, and I would have made a move towards the end, but I mean, I don't know whether, you know, come back by or not, but I would have at least made mine try to stick.
So Moody and Yamaha take the big one, with Ducatis in second and third, and not a race to be remembered by the Nortons. And it's not a year to be remembered for Norton fans, with the news that they are to pull out of racing. And older supporters will find it hard to believe that they'll not see the British bike on a starting grid again.
Not only old-timers, dare I say, you know, there's a lot of youngsters, I think, that also follow the team. Yeah. There's tremendous coverage, as you know, and support for the team. But, you know, dare I say, you know, I've run it for 2 years now for very little reward. And I have to say, everybody wants the Norton here, but nobody wants to pay for it. And the trouble is, the sponsors that we have, the very good sponsors we have, there's no real end result for them. There's a prestige, which we've given them for 2 years. With Jim Moody last year finished second in the Super Cup and third in the British Championship, and this year with Ian Simpson winning the championship and Phil Borley third. You know, 13 doubles we've had, been fantastic results, as you know.
Yeah.
You know, there's no end result. There's no benefit, financial, no commercial benefit, rather, for the sponsors, and we have to acknowledge that. So that's, I mean, if Nortons were carrying on, but we've recommended they build a batch of Duckham's Norton replicas, you know, for the road. There is a demand for that. but just wasted breath, to be honest. And I've been in the business a long time, and I don't waste my breath. I've got better things to do.
Well, earlier we saw Jim Falls and the Honda win the first 125cc race of the day. Could he make it a double? Let's find out.
10 laps this race, 18 miles. And Robin Appleyard on the right-hand side of your picture had another flyer. Robin Appleyard, who led the first 125cc race early on, had another flyer from the second row. Appleyard, number 1, out in the lead. Jim Falls also started very well. He's in third, but Darren Gawley, number 14, has gone ahead. Darren Gawley from Portadown, the second half of the Brian Grant team, is out there leading on the blue and yellow. Gawley leads, Robin Appleyard through on the inside, and look at Mark Norman, number 17, and Jim Falls, number 15. So it's nip and tuck, chop and change. And just look at Jim Falls tucking down behind the screen, getting his elbows in, his knees in, making himself as small as possible, and that's what it takes. He done. Owens up to 4th. Phelim Owens, number 16, up to 4th. There he is. Phelim Owens then has gone past Mark Norman and is up to 4th place, and I did say that he comes good later in the race. He's on a charge. We could well see the lap record go to Phelim Owens if he maintains this sort of pressure. Number 14, Darren Gawley, is now very, very close. The factory worker from Portadown is in 3rd place and closing on the rear wheel of Robin Appleyard. Gawley will do a full Super Cup season in 1995. And riding like this, why shouldn't he? But Appleyard, the 93 champion, is desperate to win this one. He's had enough of Jim Falls leading him. He's gone back ahead. There was a big bump on the inside, the apex of that turn. Appleyard found it, but the RS125 Honda still steady and true. Robin Appleyard now maybe just using that superior knowledge, superior experience. A retirer, number 34, Owen McNally, coming into the pits, but they're all closing up on Appleyard. Falls. Then it's up to 3rd place has gone Phelim Owens, number 16. Just look at that. His namesake has retired. Appleyard leads. Phelim Owens is now 3rd. Jim Falls is 2nd. Darren Gawley down to 4th. Still number 17 chasing hard, Mark Norman. And number 9 in 6th place is Dennis McCulloch, another of the local men. Onto the start-finish straight. Now watch the technique of Phelim Owens in 3rd place. Is he close enough to get the toe? He's right there. Is he going to get the toe? He opens out onto the inside and into 2nd place. Yes, no. Oh, that was really touch and go for Phelim Owens. He didn't quite have enough momentum, but he meant business. I think it's fair to say that Jim Falls now knows Phelim Owens, number 16, is there. Incredibly close action. So coming up to play again, of course, is Mark Norman, number 17, and Owens still making a bid for 2nd, but Jim Falls, number 15, holding it off. McCulloch, number 9, is also there in 6th place. Very, very close. Phelim Owens going through, right, left, and makes the bid. The Irish 125cc champion, number 16, the 28-year-old sheet metal worker from Dungannon, the winner of the new style British 125cc title as well, current holder of that, Phelim Owens, also a 250cc rider, also no mean force with a sidecar outfit in his time, and now they're very close. This is where the 125 pass each other. Owens is poised, Darren Gawley, number 14, is also poised, and Owens switches to the inside. He's going for the lead, and great stuff, he takes it. Phelim Owens into the front. Did he run a little bit wide? Appleyard now relegated. Oh, no, he's not. Appleyard cuts through. Phelim Owens charging through. This is traditional 125cc racing at its very best. Owens has got the power, he's got the speed, he's certainly got the bravery, and he's certainly got Robin Appleyard lined up. Oh, look, a little bit of gesticulation. What he's really saying is, you're a bit close there, you know, you're squeezing me. But he's through. Mark Norman is now up to 4th. Darren Gawley down to 5th. Appleyard is second, new race leader, number 16, Philip Owens. Mark Norman is now up to 4th place, having relegated Darren Gawley down. Next time round, as he exits onto the start-finish straight, we should see the last lap flag, and indeed we do. That yellow and black flag telling you that Philip Owens just has 1.8 miles of this race remaining, and what an incredible race he has ridden. And what an exciting battle now brewing up for second. Robin Appleyard in real danger of losing that second place. Side by side, these two, Jim Falls and Robin Appleyard. Appleyard determined to hang on to second. Jim Falls equally determined to do something else about it. And he is now having a charge and has a good look at Robin Appleyard. The camera angle foreshortened that, but they are indeed side by side. Falls, however, not quite on the inside. Mark Norman still in 4th and going well from Wrexham. So Appleyard having to look to his laurels and really pull everything out of the bag to hang on to that vital second place. That'll help with the diesel money home, that's for sure. Race leader though, Philip Owens, number 16. The sheet metal worker from Duncannon. Does a lot of his work as well, spraying cars. He's a good paint sprayer, he's a good sheet metal worker, and he's a good motorcyclist, and he wins the second 125cc race here.
So thrilling stuff. Owens leading the way, Appleyard was second, and this time Falls had to settle for third, just 1/10 of a second behind the Englishman. Eric Lyons is the chairman of the Hillsborough Club, and Eric, you switched the venue this year from Kirkeston to Bishop's Court, and I have to say overall I've heard very good reports.
Yes, that's been the way it is, Jackie. I'm very pleased, Chairman. We took a gamble, perhaps. New circuit. It's been tremendous success. I can tell you, honestly, we haven't had one bit of criticism, and that includes all of the cross-channel riders. It's just been superb.
There's been a lot of talk and a lot of people being optimistic about the possibility of a British Super Cup round being run here. How realistic is that?
Jackie, that's very realistic. We have, even today, been in negotiation with people regarding the British Super Cup round. I'm not so very sure if it would be next year, but certainly we're in line for Super Cup round in Northern Ireland.
So that's going to be good news for short circuit racing here.
That's where we've all been heading for. It's something, it's our dream. It's what it's all about, Jack. It's our sport, and it's a British round of our sport.
Here's the result of the first junior race of the day. Stephen Farmer, the winner there. Eugene McManus was second, with Alan Patterson in third. The second junior race, well, it was one to remember.
On lap 5, number 9, Nigel Bosworth, the 30-year-old from Stoke Golding near Nuneaton in Warwickshire, who won his first race at Snetterton as long ago as 1982. 12 years experience at this sort of level. Bosworth on the Honda is under enormous pressure from number 15, Eugene McManus, number 10, Alan Patterson, and number 25, Stephen Farmer in that order. 18, Greg Ramsey is in there as well. And Bosworth is really having to look to his laurels, because second place McManus, who was second in the first junior race earlier this afternoon, is putting him under terrific pressure, has headed him at one point in this race. Bosworth immediately stole back underneath the young Irishman and now leads. Bosworth, 30 years of age, is not going to give up easily, you can tell. McManus out of the slipstream though. Is he going to go past McManus? Going for it. Bosworth not giving an inch. No, just look at that. The superior speed of the Honda kept Eugene McManus at bay. Stephen Farmer, number 25, is there as well. They're climbing all over Bosworth. McManus went a little bit wide. Bosworth very, very close. This is a terrific race. Look at Alan Patterson, number 10, up to second. So in the space of 500 yards, Bosworth has gone from first to third. A very disappointing lap that was, for sure, for Bosworth. Stephen Farmer is in there. Wolsey Coulter is now in 5th, riding number 1 on the Aprilia, and that's an ex-Ian Newton Aprilia, and Ian Newton is now behind him. Eugene McManus, runner-up in the 1994 Super Cup Series, and he is leading fellow countryman Alan Patterson, who started the 1994 season on the Grand Prix circus. He was travelling all across the world to ride in World Championship events for the Turtle team, and is now in runner-up spot. 25 years of age, Alan Patterson, probably one of the brightest talents to emerge from Ireland in recent years in the 125 and 250cc class. He takes the lead. Patterson, number 10, goes in front. Not renowned for his reliability in terms of staying on the motorcycle, I have to say. Is this going to be one of those occasions when Alan Patterson does indeed stay upright on two wheels and brings his Turtle Yamaha number 10 home in the lead of this race? Patterson from Antrim now in second, because Eugene McManus, number 15, has sneaked back in front. Stephen Farmer is third. Bosworth, the early race leader, the man who led for 5 laps, is now in 5th place. 4th place, I beg your pardon. Newton is also on a charge. Ian Newton is pulling up through the field. Newton running now in 6th, and Greg Ramsey, number 18, there as well. Over the line again they come. McManus leads, then it's Patterson, then it's Farmer, Bosworth. Number 23, Simon Turner, on the blue machine, having a great ride. 3 laps remaining then. They are well into the closing stages of this race, and Alan Patterson, number 10, is in second. Number 23, Simon Turner, another one of the locals on an ex-Jeremy McWilliams Queen's University Belfast machine, is running hard in 4th place. 5th now, Bosworth still there, 4th. There's Turner, there's Ramsey, there's Newton, number 8. But just watch the tactics of Alan Patterson, number 10, in 2nd place. He's shadowing Eugene McManus. The running order in the first encounter, McManus came home in 2nd place. Patterson, oh, and a big twitch from Patterson. They're up behind a tail ender. Number 19, Brian Amos, about to be lapped. Stephen Farmer going past Patterson, who is now in 3rd place, but it's very much a home benefit. McManus leads. McManus freely admits that he does not like the true road race type of circuit, and he said more and more Irishmen will be turning their hand to the short circuits, and if this is typical of the sort of riding we're going to get, then I have no doubt more and more will indeed ride the short circuits with this amount of success. Patterson back in 2nd. Stephen Farmer, number 25, going for it and getting it. It's still a little bit rough, but they're working hard. Simon Turner now up to 4th. So the QUB, Queen's University of Belfast machine, the ex-Jeremy McWilliams bike, Yamaha powered, is in 4th. So we now have Irishmen in the top 4 places. Nigel Bosworth slipping further down the order. From leading the race on the top 4 laps, he is now down in 5th place and looking as though he might lose that to Greg Ramsey. On their last lap then, a little under 1.8 miles, and this the battle for the lead. They're going to overcook it if they're not careful. Patterson in 3rd, waiting to inherit the lead if he can, and look at that, Alan Patterson squeezed through on the inside of Stephen Farmer, and he's going for the lead. Patterson is really going for it. He's taking the long way round, though he's outside. Patterson is pushed wide. What a scintillating race this is. The actions throughout the afternoon here at Bishop's Court has been second to none. British and international motorcycle racing at its very best. McManus knows that he's having to work very hard on this last lap to hold on to it. Through the chicane, I think the gap is too wide now. I can't see Alan Patterson closing this one down unless he makes a do-or-die attempt into the closing stages out of the last turn. He's right there, though, on the rear wheel. Patterson it is. They are in the last bend. I can't see that Patterson's bike will have the sprint down the straight, but he's going for it. No, Eugene McManus takes the flag. Patterson, Stephen Farmer, Nigel Bosworth, Simon Turner, Greg Ramsey and Ian Newton.
third for a while, and then I went second, took a lead, back in second, took a lead again. I says, I'm taking it now, and nobody's getting it. And that was it.
What about the year in England for you? It's been very good.
Well, I finished second in the British Championship. I was only one out of the top 3 or something to have one. I did not finish. I didn't even get started the race, electrical fault in the bike. That probably robbed me off the British Championship. But I hope it proved here now that I'm as good as anybody.
So McManus taking the flag in this one. Alan Patterson got second, with Farmer relegated to third place this time. And so we come to the second senior race of the day. Ian Simpson won the first one for Norton. Jim Moody won the Sunflower Trophy race for Yamaha. So it should be Norton against Yamaha once again. Barry Nutley describes the action.
He's absolutely riding well now. Jim Moody, the 31-year-old Scotsman, shadowing Phil Borley, who's got his own race bike suitably repaired. It spluttered to a halt in the main race. Oh, and another twitch. And that happens every time on the left-hander. Could be that Phil Borley's tyres are getting just a little bit scruffy and not giving him the grip he needs. It's also very rough, and he will know that Jim Moody is right there on his exhaust pipe. Moody then, having gone round in 95.68, has a new lap record, and he's done it chasing this man. And Moody went a little bit wide there. That was a desperate sweeping attempt by Jim Moody on the Yamaha to overhaul the flying Norton of Phil Borley. Borley then coming into sight on the start-finish straight. This is where the Norton comes into its own. Just watch. 150 miles an hour at this point. Borley sits up, sweeping into Brock's Bend. The right-hander, third gear, Islandagore, down towards Larchwood, the left-hander. Larchwood taken in fourth. Down to bottom gear for the hairpin, the right-hand hairpin. 45 miles an hour in first gear. The Norton accelerating out of there, up through the gearbox, towards the left, right, and left of Deegan's, or the right, left, and right of Deegan's. The second chicane facing them is Fairways. They're at it now. They're at Fairways. And then the third chicane towards the right-hander of Ringawaddy. Round they go, and then up towards Dunsport. Just a little weave. Dunsport now ahead of them, and they will come out of Dunsport, driving hard, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, a wheelie from the Norton, up to that 150 mile an hour top speed point, the fastest part of the circuit. And away they go. They are on lap 8. 3 remaining then, including this one. Borley leads Moody, but only just. I think it's fair to say he is mean and Moody right now. He really is closing in, and Borley showing every single feather in his plumage to the Yamaha Teamster. Norton shaking its head and its rear end. There's something not very happy with the rear end of Borley's Norton, that's for sure. It's on right-handers, and again a vicious weave as he flicks it through the chicane. Excellent action from these two. They are so close now. I can't help but feeling that Jim Moody, flushed with success in the main Sunflower race, knows that he can pull off a second win here at Bishop's Court. Coming into the sunlight again, and they will be on the penultimate lap this time. 2 laps remaining then. 1.8 miles each of those 2 laps. So Borley now with a little over 3 miles to do, but knowing that Moody is ever present. Moody having a good look at the inside, putting the Norton man under real pressure. Is Jim Moody going to go for the second double? Off to Knockhill tomorrow in his homeland, Scotland. Will it be with a pocket full of pound notes from Bishop's Court? Well, Moody certainly hopes it is. Phil Borley has got something to do, that's for sure. Half of this penultimate lap, and then they will just have the final lap flag as they go over the line. Up towards Ringawaddy as they come through the chicane. and then Dunsford, the bottom gear Dunsford. There they go. 1 lap remaining as they go over the line. The yellow and black last lap flag was a little tardy coming out down here on the start-finish circuit, but certainly the caption says everything. Phil Borley from Southend-on-Sea in Essex has got a job and a half to do now in the few seconds remaining of this 10-lap senior race at Bishop's Court, knowing full well that he has an extremely determined Jim Moody. You get a glance of his front wheel every now and then, just the merest hint of Yamaha front end tells Phil Borley that Moody means business. And Moody now with that 750 Yamaha absolutely at full chat, shadowing Phil Borley through the chicanes. And the Borley Norton, I think, is going to hold out, but only just. It's going to be a close fought thing. They are coming up towards the final sprint down to the flag, and it'll be unbelievable if the Yamaha could steal the march down here, but I doubt it. The flag is out. A huge wheelie from Phil Borley. He needed that, I have to say.
Yeah, I wanted that win. First 2 races didn't go quite as planned. The first one had a bit of a problem with the bike. We made adjustments for the second one. I got misfire halfway through that, so that ruled me out of that one, so I was determined to get the final race.
And the Norton is a very good bike this year, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. We've had, well, I've had 9, no, this is my 10th win, so Ian's had 10 wins as well, and we've been the team to beat, so hopefully we can keep it up next year.
And you kept Mr. Moody and Yamaha again.
That's right, yeah. I knew there was someone close behind. I didn't have a chance to look, but I kept seeing plus 0 on my pit board, so I knew it was going to be close, and I just had to keep my concentration to the end.
So there's confirmation of the result. Norton winning again in what looks like their last race in Ireland. Borley the winner, Moody second, with Llewellyn in 3rd place. Overall then, it's been a good day's racing, and Barry Nutley, I think you'd agree with that.
Well, if I've got a voice left, I will, Jackie. Yeah, it's been great. I do the Super Cup Series for Grandstand, as you know, on the UK mainland, and what we've seen today more than compares with anything I've seen in 1994. I honestly believe that short circuit racing here in Northern Ireland stepped up a gear today.
Yeah, good to see you across here. So there we are. Hope you've enjoyed the highlights, but for now, from all of us here at Bishop's Court, it's good night to you. Bye-bye.